He's fit. She's fit. Welcome back to another episode with Mr. Whitfit. If you didn't see episode 1, definitely take an opportunity to go and take a look at that. Because today I'm actually going to be referencing something very important that I spoke about in episode 1, which is turning the responsibility back on you. If you take a look at a lot of the content today that's on YouTube, you see a lot of what I would refer to as a lot of good material, but extremism. What I mean by extremism is people saying, look at me, look at what I can do. Which that's cool, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a bigger picture also, is how did you go about doing that? You're beautiful, you look good, if you're a fitness model or an athlete, but how did you do it? How did you get to that particular point, from point A to point B? That's where Mr. Whitfit comes in at. I'm going to show you how to evolve to the next level, regardless of where you are. I talked about turning that responsibility back onto you in episode 1. I also talked about cycle training periodization. Through the process of the internet, electronic media, you're going to have me one-to-one to show you exactly how to do what you need to be doing. Because even though I'm not with you there physically, I'm with you in spirit. And the spirit is more powerful than anything, which created the internet, which is allowing me to communicate with multiple millions of people right now. The beauty behind that, if you are like a Peter Triple that I work with in San Francisco, that was recovering from quadruple bypass surgery, who lost 60 pounds. Still friends to this day, because that was not only a beautiful experience physically, but it was a spiritual experience as well. Because when you tap into the heart chakra and you connect with another individual for the purpose of causing them to heal and change, as well as utilizing the instruments of exercise equipment in a gym, even though it's physical, it can be used for a purpose of changing a person's life. These are the processes that it actually takes. And you're going to go on to that journey with me. And there's different types of heart disease, different ways it's actually developed. I start with this first because as a trainer, that was probably one of my biggest challenges that I ever had in my life, was working with somebody that was teetering in and out of life. At some point, I'll share with you an experience I had with my own dad when he was dealing with heart disease. And he passed in 2003. I'm sharing something very personal with you, but I think he would be very proud of what I'm doing today. As a matter of fact, he himself was into technology, and I spent most of my life up to this point in the Bay Area, watching the technology explosion. Little did I ever know that I would actually be utilizing that particular technology for the purpose of enhancing you worldwide. You know, Pops would love that because he was all about technology. That being said, heart disease is one that I understand very profoundly because while living in Arizona, I worked with a lot of heart patients. There were a lot of retirees there. And the interesting thing about the chakras, as I go into that, the fourth chakra being the heart chakra, which is green, we're going to have some very in-depth, deep conversations. Some of the things that you may have been mystified before in reference to chakra, which actually means will. It is a Sanskrit term that you'll see that Sanskrit as a language is a very high vibrational language, which a lot of the yoga studios play, purely for the purpose of restoring the body back to balance, to natural. Now, Peter and heart disease is only one aspect that I've dealt with and saw over the years. Vinny Danino. Vinny, if you're out there, hello. Good to see you. See you a lot of time on social media. When I worked with Vinny at Fit Athletic Club in San Diego, California, he was a young gentleman, 25 years of age, looking to put on muscle. And I have one that I'm working with right now that you're actually going to meet in an upcoming episode. James is his name. I'm working with him here in San Diego at the gym. He's went from 132 to 152. I use a similar formula with both, with a few variances in there. James is 20 years of age and Vinny was 25. What you're going to see is there is a set process and system to everything that I'm actually doing, which is duplicatable. Now, we're going to go in depth in the process of overloading, how overloading at one particular age is different from overloading at another age. For example, I said Vinny was 25, James is 20. Now, those different factors are huge because their body types were very similar, which we typically see three: ectomorph, endomorph, mesomorph. Okay, throughout life, that's typically type people you're going to see. Ecto, tall, basketball player type. Endo can be, let's say, your short, thick people. Meso, medium height, medium build. There's a science behind utilizing reps and sets to get the body's structure to respond. It responds at a cellular level first, that eventually manifests into the physical growth structure that we can actually see. Well, I understand both. And in understanding both, when I'm navigating you through this territory, trust me, if you do the reps and sets with the rest periods that I say that you actually should be doing, you're going to produce results in a timely manner. Because I also will be speaking to you about your heart rates. Because heart rate also gives me a huge indication of actually what's going on within the body. You know, often in medicine, they refer to vital signs. You know, they'll take your temperature, they'll take your heart rate, blood pressure. These things say a lot. And throughout, even prior to microscopes and things of that nature, wise men, shamans, yogis would utilize these methods of looking into the eyes to see if they can see what's going on inside a person's biochemistry, listening to their speech, their mind, as well as their spirit. Spirit meaning their energy or their vortex, chakra. And we will travel through the chakras. As I'm wearing a yellow shirt today, showing the third chakra. And it's moving up through the system of creating energy and balance throughout the body. Now, as we go on this journey, I would love to, as many people as can, reach out to me. Put a comment down below. Tell me about your height, your body weight, your age, your medications that you may be on, in addition to surgeries that you may have had, and concerns. Because when we create or orbit around your planet, is for the entire purpose of creating a better version of you. Always wishing you well through health. Take care.